After being recorded in the studio, Jungkook admits to secretly recording a song with Puth. Fans in uproar excitement swept through the international entertainment world after a video recording showing BTS's Jungkook in a studio with American singer and songwriter Puth spread widely on social media. The public, who initially thought it was just a coincidence, was now shocked when Jungkook finally confirmed that the two were indeed working on a music project in secret. This statement immediately sparked speculation and intense discussion among fans and observers of the global music industry. Could this be a sign of the return of two musicians with a unique chemistry that had previously captivated millions of listeners? The video, first uploaded by a studio technician, showed Jungkook sitting behind the control desk, while Puth appeared to be reviewing lyric sheets. The atmosphere looked professional and full of concentration, raising major questions about what project they were preparing. Many suspected the two were merely engaged in a casual meeting, but the backdrop of world-class recording equipment and the presence of a production team indicated something more serious. Confirmation came through a brief interview after Jungkook attended a private event in Seoul. With measured language, he stated that the recording process had indeed been going on for some time without publicity. "We want to make sure this music is completed perfectly before it is announced," he said briefly, adding to the tension among fans who had been awaiting definitive news since the video surfaced. This collaboration immediately sparked various theories among ARMY and Puth's fans. Some linked the project to plans for a new album release, while others believed the song could potentially be a surprise single released without prior promotion. Their previous success in 2022 with Left and Right was one reason why this round of speculation was receiving extraordinary attention. Music industry analysts believe the secretive strategy employed by Jungkook and Puth has great potential in building public momentum. In the digital era, where information leaks often disrupt promotional strategies, maintaining secrecy until the final stages of production can create an explosive effect upon release. "This is a smart form of narrative control," said a K-pop music observer in Seoul. Fan reactions also varied. On Platform X, formerly Twitter, the hashtag #JungkookXCharliePuth trended globally within hours after the official confirmation came out. Thousands of posts containing video clips, speculation about the song's genre, and even analyses of their gestures in the studio flooded timelines. Some even claimed to have heard snippets of melody from leaked recordings, although the validity of such claims could not be confirmed. Although detailed information about the song remains tightly guarded, an internal source who declined to be named said that the mixing process was almost finished and that the release would likely take place in the coming weeks. The same source hinted that the song has a different vibe from their previous collaboration, with a more complex and experimental production touch. For Jungkook, this project marks one of his strategic steps in expanding his musical reach in the international market. For Puth, the collaboration reinforces his reputation as an artist capable of building creative chemistry across genres and cultures. Both have solid fan bases on various continents, making this collaboration an almost certain combination to attract the attention of the global music industry. The big question now hanging in the air is how the concept for promoting the song will be executed. Will there be a music video featuring both of them directly? Will the song be part of an album project or stand alone as a special single? All of these questions remain unanswered, and this in itself adds to the public's interest in continuing to follow its development. With such major artists as Jungkook and Puth rarely keeping a project secret until this close to release, the public is now faced with a situation where anticipation has reached its peak. If this strategy succeeds, it is not impossible that their collaboration will become one of the most influential music releases of the year. Until that moment arrives, one thing is certain: the silence they have maintained all this time has been the fuel for an extraordinary level of curiosity. Yet in the midst of the wave of euphoria that has arisen, an important question must be asked: to what extent can the public trust the authenticity of this information? Does Jungkook's statement truly reflect the facts happening behind the scenes of the international music industry? Or is this merely part of a promotional strategy designed to draw the attention of the public and the media? In a digital era full of sensational content, It is difficult to distinguish between real events and narratives deliberately constructed. Isn't this a reason for all of us to question every piece of information presented? The video recording that triggered this uproar came from various sources, including TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and several other online media. But is there any guarantee that the video shows an authentic moment, without cuts or visual manipulation? Haven't we seen similar cases where snippets of images or videos were taken out of context to create a certain perception? Considering how easy it is for technology today to modify and spread content, isn't it reasonable for us to question the integrity of viral visual material? We also need to reflect on whether the public is becoming part of a marketing experiment deliberately arranged to exploit collective curiosity. Was the sudden appearance of this video, followed by Jungkook's brief confirmation, a coincidence or rather a scenario planned long in advance? Teaser strategies like this have indeed proven effective in creating anticipation. But is it ethical if done by exploiting the uncertainty and emotions of fans? Isn't such a form of promotion prone to blurring the line between truth and constructed narrative? It is also important to observe the patterns that often appear in the global entertainment industry. Many artists and labels use leaks as part of their strategy. If so, are we as consumers of information merely playing a role that has already been determined? Doesn't this indicate that the public, albeit unconsciously, actually strengthens the effectiveness of campaigns that may be deliberately designed to create the illusion of spontaneity? Furthermore, we should question the sources of information we consume. The articles, news, and posts that are widely spread rely on secondary data, video recordings that cannot be independently verified, brief quotes that may have been taken out of context, and speculative analysis from third parties. Is this enough to form the belief that the event actually happened? Or are we trapped in a cycle of information consumption where speed is prioritized, replacing accuracy as the main value? It cannot be ignored that the main appeal of this collaboration news lies in its emotional aspect. Fans naturally want the collaboration to become reality, especially given the success of their previous work together. However, can't this strong desire influence our objectivity in assessing the truth of the information? Is it possible that most of the public's acceptance of this news is driven more by emotional hope than by rational verification? The fact that this information does not yet have an official release from the labels or management of the two artists also reinforces the urgency to remain skeptical. Is the absence of an official statement a strategy to maintain surprise? Or is it a sign that this news may not have a solid basis? If later it turns out that this news is merely an exaggerated rumor, how will the public who had already celebrated it react? In this context, we as consumers of information have a responsibility not to be merely passive recipients. Shouldn't we be asking critical questions every time news like this emerges? Who benefits the most from the spread of this news? What role does social media play in accelerating the spread of unverified information? And most importantly, do we have mechanisms to distinguish between truth and sensationalism? It should be remembered that the entertainment industry, especially in the digital media era, often moves on a fine line between fact and constructed narrative. It is not uncommon for the two to become so intertwined that the public has difficulty identifying the boundary. Are we critical enough to differentiate between the two? Or are we more comfortable accepting the version of the story that is most entertaining, even if its truth cannot be proven? Considering all these possibilities, the public is invited to reflect on their position within the modern information ecosystem. Will we continue to allow ourselves to be swept away by waves of captivating news without examining its sources and validity? Or will we take steps to hold back, verify, and only place trust in information that has been tested for its truth? Finally, before this collaboration news receives indisputable confirmation, it may be wise for us to regard it as a possibility, not a certainty. Thank you.